Hello, everyone, and welcome to class number one, Wake Up and Show Up. I'm Jared Dashevsky. I'm founder and creator of Healthcare Huddle and creator of this course, Intern Year Bootcamp, in partnership with Doximity. If you recall from the first video where I gave you the layout of what this course looks like, I mentioned that the whole course is structured as like a day in the life of me as an intern, right? So taking you through the day, and in each part of the day, or in each part of the routine, I'm teaching you about the tools and tricks that I learned in order to streamline and make my day more efficient, because that's going to be very important. In this class, waking up and showing up, I wanted to talk about three main items. First one is the morning routine, and the third one is your, how do I want to say this, your mindset. Okay, so starting with sleep, uh, you can say goodbye to the sleeping in that you did as a fourth year medical student. Um, Although residency, the sleep isn't as bad as people make it to be, but you're going to need to learn on how to operate on less sleep, but still be at your best. My goal as an intern was to get at least 7 hours of sleep per night, and that's definitely doable. I managed to do that, having a wife and a new baby daughter during residency. It's definitely feasible. You just have to be very strict with your bedtime, and set boundaries with you and your friends, right? If you have to be at work the next morning at 6 a.m., you can't really be. People wear Apple Watch, Oura Ring, etc. These are great sleep tracking devices. And so, my Whoop is telling me to go to bed at a certain time in order to achieve like an optimal window of sleep. And I've been using this Whoop since my third year of medical school, right? Because I was about to hit clinical rotations, and I knew that my sleep would start taking a toll. So I use it really to stay in order. And if I have several nights where I'm less than 7 hours of sleep, I could place a bigger emphasis on my bedtime. So if you wear a sleep tracking device, whether that be Apple, Whoop, or a Ring, I highly recommend you keep wearing it, and you treat it like it's a prized possession. Okay. Then we move into the morning routine. So after sleep, you wake up. This is going to be different for each person. I The way I function is I need to work out in the morning. I need to take care of myself in the morning, because after a long day, the last thing I want to do is is exercise. So what I tried to do as an intern, I wasn't 100% effective, right? But what I tried, what my goal was to wake up an hour 30 minutes before work, so hour to hour 30, to do like a quick workout. This could be like hopping on the Peloton for 30 minutes, doing a quick weightlifting, and then from that being able to shower, eat breakfast, and hop along to work. As an intern, depending on which specialty you're in, you may have to get there at like 6:30 a.m. or like 5:30 a.m. I think this is probably the surgical specialties, and this is more medicine. Sorry, my handwriting is atrocious. But the morning routine is important. And so sometimes what I do is like the night before, I'll just like lay out my workout clothes. I will like have the protein shake ready to go. I'll have the smoothie already in the freezer, so that all I have to do is like dump it into the blender. Or you make like hard boiled eggs or egg muffins, like when you have a moment. That way you can just grab and go. The morning routine is very important. You really want to avoid being rushed on the way to work, because there's no guarantee that when you step into the hospital, things are going to be quiet. You could very well step in at 6:30 to get a sign out, and then you have crashing patients. You have a bunch of nurses needing your attention, a bunch of patients needing your attention. You have an admission. Things get hectic very quickly. So don't take that for granted. That you really want to have a robust morning routine. So to be specific, so as an intern, if I had to be in at 6:30 a.m., I may be waking up 5:15, 5:30, quickly drink my coffee, use the bathroom, and then from there get started with the workout, hydrating during it, finish, shower, breakfast, and then I'm on my way to work. Lucky for me, I live very close to my hospital, which is both good and bad. But you can titrate your routine, as we say in medicine. So sleep, morning routine, and then the mindset is perhaps the most important point of this class. And you may be, rolling your eyes. Oh, the mindset, the mindset. What is this? Like the sports? Like you even taught about the mindset dating back to childhood. But residency is no different. You're going to hit intern year. You're going to be filled with energy. But as you do these long hours, as your sleep takes a toll, it's going to be easy to lose that mindset of that you're here to learn, you're here to take care of patients. So just do yourself a favor and have some sort of like mantra that you tell yourself before work. Right? I think for me, as an intern, I just remember repeating to myself a couple like phrases, like I get to do this, right? Then this touches on like it's a privilege to take care of patients. I don't have to do it. I get to do it, right? Another one's like, I'm getting paid to use my brain and my cognition to problem solve and like better patients' lives, which is incredibly cool, right? And so saying to myself, I get to do this, that I'm getting paid to do this, everything is a privilege. And then when things are tough, I tell myself, which is something my father-in-law taught me, which was like, in the end, it will all be okay. And if it's not okay yet, it's not the end. Which is just another simple quote to help me get through it, right? Everything, in the end, it will all be okay. And if it's not the end, I mean, if it's not okay, it's not the end yet, right? We still have work to go. So the mindset is very important. And it's not just for you, but for the people you work with the team, the resident you're working under, the attending you're working under, the nurses you communicate with. Because if you have a good mindset, you have a good attitude, and people will respect you and listen to you, and your patients will also benefit from it. So this is about all I wanted to discuss. But basically, protect that sleep. Make sure you have this morning routine down, and you can iterate as you go through intern year and residency, because you're gonna have different schedules. Sometimes you're on an easy block, sometimes you're on a hard block, and you just gotta be flexible. We'll move to class two next, where I'll start showing you some of the AI tools that I've been using.